Welcome back to another episode of Toy Tuesdays with Talent. In today's episode, carrying on with the Juggernaut BAF wave,
the Phoenix.
Let's get into it. Cerebro activate.
Cerebro online.
Cerebro, could you please pull up file Phoenix 2016?
Accessing file Phoenix 2016. Phoenix, Jean Grey Summers, first appearance, The X-Men number 129, January 1980, created by Chris Claremont, John Byrne, writers, John Byrne, artist.
Alright folks, this is going to be a little complicated because we are actually covering Phoenix, not just Jean Grey. Phoenix was created by Chris Claremont and John Byrne. John Byrne was the artist. Phoenix first appeared in X-Men number 129, January 1980. This story is a little complicated, so bear with me here. So during an emergency mission in space, the X-Men shuttle gets damaged. Jean decides to pilot the shuttle back because she's the only one who can not just fly the shuttle, but also shield herself from harmful radiation. Unfortunately, while she is flying back, the radiation becomes too much. Jean finds herself not being able to hold her force field up, and she ends up slowly dying, and she cries out for help, and the Phoenix Force hears her. And the Phoenix Force is the sum of all life in the universe, and it's moved by Jean's wish to save herself and her friends. Now here's where things get complicated. She ends up making a duplicate body to house Jean's psyche, and then takes the real Jean's body and puts it in a healing cocoon. The shuttle ends up crashing in Jamaica Bay and sinks to the bottom, as well as the cocoon, and it goes unnoticed, and it's just this cosmic being with amazing powers. So the Phoenix walks around acting like she's Jean Grey. She does eventually get a little twisted when she gets involved with a gentleman from the Hellfire Club, but that's a Dark Phoenix saga, and that's a different action figure, so it's a story for another time. Cerebro, can you pull up the action figure, please?
Phoenix, X-Men Juggernaut Build-A-Figure Wave. Released in 2016. Retail price, $19.99. Aftermarket price, high, $50. Low, $29.87. Accessories, Juggernaut torso.
Just like the figures that we previously have covered in the Juggernaut BAF wave, this one too was still on shelves, so I managed to get it at retail, $19.99. The aftermarket price on this one is nowhere near as high as the Iceman was, but $50 is still pretty pricey for an action figure. The low is $29.87, and like a lot of the figures at the time, didn't really come with too many accessories, just this one came with the Juggernaut torso. They have recently announced a new Jean Grey Phoenix action figure that comes with a Firebird Fire Phoenix accessory that looks amazing, as well as the figure itself actually looks spectacular. Very excited for that. This figure is currently in my Krakoa display. Like I said, the Krakoa display is kind of a catch-all. During that comic run, lots of the characters wore many different outfits that they've worn over the years, so you can nicely fit pretty much any action figure in that display. There's a chance I may be retiring this action figure when the new one comes out, but you never know. I might need a Phoenix in one display and a Phoenix in the other, so whichever display is my favorite is the one I will put the newer figure in. And if nothing else, she can just remain on the Krakoa shelf. Okay, let's cover the powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities. Astral projection, telekinesis, telepathy, empathy, S-Phoenix Force, cosmic pyrokinesis, matter manipulation, resurrection, teleportation, immortality.
Now, just because she goes by the name Phoenix does not mean she is always that cosmic entity. Depending on how you want to display her and what display you're using, it could be just the Phoenix, or it could be Jean Grey Phoenix. Regardless, we're going to cover the powers of Jean Grey Phoenix. So like a lot of telepaths, she's got astral projection, telekinesis, telepathy, and empathy. Jean is also an Omega level mutant, which means she is super powerful. Some of her abilities not related to her powers. She's a trained pilot and very proficient in unarmed combat, as most X-Men are. And she has training in psychology. Makes sense for a telepath. As a telepath, she's able to astral project herself, and there is this place called the astral plane. Most powerful telepaths can actually project their minds to the astral plane and even do battle there. Telekinesis. She has a high level of telekinetic ability. Gives her the power to psionically levitate, rapidly move objects. She often uses her telekinetic abilities to fly. or just levitate, and create protective force fields. The limits of her telekinetic power have never really clearly been established. She has been capable of lifting 50 tons of rubble, but she did strain. Over time, like a lot of the X-Men, she has gotten more powerful, and she's not just an Omega level mutant, she's an Omega level telekinetic. Telepathy. Being a telepath, you can read people's minds, you can manipulate their minds. She is one of the most powerful telepaths on the Earth. I'd say only second to Professor X, as far as I know. I could be wrong about that, but she's definitely up there. Empathy is an interesting one. It means she can feel and manipulate people's emotions. Being an empath, she connects to people's minds and to their feelings. She can make them feel the pain they inflicted on other people. Now, with that Phoenix Force power came some extra powers: cosmic pyrokinesis, matter manipulation, resurrection, teleportation, and immortality. So as you can see, that makes her one of the most powerful X-Men there is. Because if you kill her, the Phoenix Force will just resurrect her. Okay, Cerebro, can you please pull up the power grid?
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
These power grids can be found either on the Marvel Metal cards, or you can go to marvel.fandom.com. They have a power grid there as well. It's a little different than the metal cards, but if you get curious, go there and check it out. Starting off with strength. She's at a 2, normal human. I'd imagine when she's full Phoenix Force, her strength is boosted, but we're covering her as Jean Grey Phoenix, so yeah, she's at a 2. Intelligence, she's at a 4. World-class chess champ. Like I said, she's beyond a straight A student. She was actually a professor at Xavier's Institute, so gotta be a smart person. Lots of studying. Okay, on to speed. She's at a 3, athletic. She has been part of the X-Men since she was a young teenager, so she's been training for a long time. She's in great shape. On to fighting ability. She is at a 4. She's a heavyweight champ, better than a black belt martial artist. I'd credit that to the fact that she's been on the X-Men for so long. Okay, on to stamina. Again at a 4. World record marathon runner. You know what I'm going to say already. Danger room. She might not be Captain America, doing it all day, but she can go for a long time. That sounded dirtier than I meant it. On to agility. Again at a 4. Olympic gold medal gymnast. Chalk that up to training in the danger room with the X-Men again. You'd have to imagine using her telekinesis as well. She could pretty much do flips and crazy acrobatics that most people wouldn't be able to do because she can literally defy gravity. On to the big one, energy blast. Her energy projection is at a 5. Fission. She's right up there with Havoc. She can release telekinetic bursts of energy so powerful, it's like an atomic bomb. And as the Phoenix, I'm sure it's way more powerful. Overall, to sum up Phoenix, looking at her stats here, she's definitely an upper level X-Men. Adding her to your team will put you over the top and guarantee a successful mission, whether here on Earth or out there in the cosmos. In the original animated series, they portrayed Jean as a pretty weak member of the team. She was always tripping and falling over and passing out. I never really liked that much, but they seem to have fixed it in the new episodes of X-Men 97. Speaking of that, Cerebro, you want to tell them?
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 Reactions with Talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yeah, check out those reactions, guys. I would really appreciate some comments. Let's get the comments going. Talk about it. If you're watching this, you're probably as big an X-Men fan as I am, so yeah, go check out those reactions. They're fun. And with that being said, I'm Talent, the X-centric collector, reminding you, keep collecting, and until next time, Excelsior!